And as you enter the off season now, you would have pending free agency in front of you. How do you feel about that? Would you like to stay a Sabre? Would you like to go on the market, or what are your feelings about that?
Hey, Paul. First off, the injury rehab's going great. Everything's going on as planned and as scheduled. Really my knee, I was fortunate. I really haven't been in pain this entire time. It's been feeling great throughout the whole process. So, I have zero doubts about moving forward, how this is going to affect me. I know I'll be ready to rock for next season and, plan on getting on the ice as soon as July. So, I should be, full go for next year. And as far as my standing with the team, I am a pending unrestricted free agent, but, I'll continue to have discussions with Kevin, leading, up to free agency to this point, and just kind of taking everything day by day.
Jake, as far as the injury, it was just, a freak thing at the end of the game. Just how hard was that to deal with? Just, when it happened, how it happened, all that.
Yeah, it's it's been quite an interesting, 12, 14 months for everyone really, but myself especially coming right off of I had COVID, and then, just a few games after that, the injury occurred, and it sucked. I kind of gave myself that night to, have tough conversations with my mom, wife, dad, and after that, I kind of just, told myself that being sad and mad about this isn't really gonna, make myself better. So I've just had a really good attitude about the whole time, and just kind of like I just said to Paul, I just take it day by day and attack my rehab every single day to my fullest, and everything is really going great. So I really, just am in a good spot overall, mentally and physically. So just at this point, excited for next season.
Morning, Jake. With another coaching change is never easy. I mean, what sort of impact, when you reflect on going through this, a couple of times previously, what sort of impact that can have, for a group, moving forward long term and sort of building something sustainably?
Yeah, it's tough. There's no other way to describe it really. This is my 7th year pro, I believe. Granted, I didn't play under Donnie, but I guess he would have been probably my 5th coach, I think, here, which is unfortunate for sure. I really, I think I have a little bit of a different perspective this year than probably other people or all the other guys that you've talked to, because, my last game was our last win before the long losing streak, and I wasn't really around the team those few weeks after my injury and amidst the losing streak. So I can't really comment on what the environment was in the room and whatnot. When Ralph and Smitty got let go, it was definitely a sad day for myself. I really enjoyed those two. And I think they really made me a better player and a person. With that being said, like I said, I think Donnie's done a great job with this group as well, and it's been great to see guys, kind of thrive in their roles. Like Casey Mittelstadt's was playing awesome this year, and it's really, really great to see him, thrive under his role with Donnie. And but overall, yeah, it has been frustrating and whatnot. But that stuff's out of your control as a player. You just, go about your business every day. And that's kind of how I've gone about my business the last couple of years, is just kind of put my head down and work and do my job. And that's all you can really, control yourself is doing your own job.
Hey, Jake, John Laurel. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Just good to hear that you're, getting better and going to be back on the ice in July. But kind of piggybacking off your answer that you just had, as much as you've liked some of the coaches, maybe all of the coaches that have been here, how, when it comes down to making your decision about your future, given that you're going to be an unrestricted free agent, how much do you put into the fact, way that this organization just hasn't been able to get things right during your term here and even beyond?
Yeah, that's definitely an important conversation I think that I will have with Kevin. I think Kevin has, done a pretty good, a great job this year, given, the circumstances of everything. I think as a first-time GM, I think he's handled himself well. He's a really good communicator, and I've really enjoyed my time with him so far. And just an easy guy to talk to. And I think, kind of like you said, it hasn't gone right so far in my time here. And it's like I said, it's very frustrating. However, I think like I said, I think Kevin has a great vision for this team and moving forward. And what they have decisions to make with the coaching staff and whatnot. But I think it's going to be moving in the right direction here, and I'm looking forward to those conversations with him in the future.
Hi, Jake. When you look at that losing streak, as you were watching from afar, I know you probably saw most of the games in some way or form. How difficult was it just to see the team's confidence just completely erode? But then at the same time, under Donnie, what was it like to see guys kind of find themselves and find their games a little bit?
Yeah, it was tough. It was really tough to watch. I've been in that. I've been in that situation where we've lost, multiple games in a row. So I knew exactly how guys were feeling. There's not much worse feeling out there than losing all confidence, as we all saw what was going on, and just everything is just extremely difficult at that point when you're feeling like that, and when you're not finding success out there individually and as a team. So it was tough, especially from being looking from afar. You can't really do anything, and you got all your buddies and teammates that you've been battling with for years, and you can't help them out, and it just sucks overall. But on the flip side, when they've found some success with Donnie, it's been fun to watch. Kind of like I mentioned, Casey Mittelstadt, how great he's been playing, and Rhino had just a phenomenal year. Sammy's one of my best buddies, and just was so happy for him to have every single time I watched the game, it's felt like Sam was putting one in the net. So that was great to see. And just different stories, like Hauser coming in here at the end of the year and getting a couple wins for us, and just little individual success stories like that were kind of coming out, just gives guys confidence moving forward. It's just so important, whether it's development or whatnot, just to find that success and find that confidence. Because I found as the more I play this game, the more confidence you have, obviously the better you're going to play. But to find that confidence, you do need to have success in the ice. It's not just as easy as pushing a button saying, okay, I'm going to be confident now. As we found with that 18-game losing streak, it's not easy to flip the script like that. So it was great to see guys, playing with that confidence and just playing with that, just creativity and freedom, I felt.
Jake, as you look at the defense, as you watch them, when you went out injured, you and Rasmus were having your best years. But you've had a chance to see Dahlin and Jokiharju recover their games and get better. You got a chance to see Samuelsson come up, and Bryson and Will Borgen. You've gotten a look at the future. What is your thought of the defense as you see it now? And do you think it's really close to being really good with what you've seen with the young kids?
Yeah. I think being a defenseman in this league, it's very challenging as a young defenseman. I think it's much more of an adjustment as a defenseman than a forward. That's personally what I think. Maybe forwards would disagree, but so you're definitely going to have your stretches of play as a young guy that you're not playing great, and you look at the score sheets in the night, you see a -2 or multiple nights of being in the minus, and that's something that we take pride in as defensemen. We don't like to get scored on. So with saying that, like you said, I think Henri and Ras both are just going to be phenomenal players, and really got a great head on their shoulders. So I like you said, I think the future is definitely bright on the back end. I mean, overall, there's just that Samuelsson stepped in. I haven't, I haven't been around that much, so I haven't met a lot of these guys and not gotten to know them very well. But it was me and Risto were sure off to a good start. This game's funny. It's a great game, but man, it sucks sometimes when you get hurt. And unfortunately, I've had some bad luck. But I know that just moving forward, that I talked about. It's, as a young defenseman, it is tough to adjust, and I feel like now, at 27, and I'm finally, really entering the prime of my career. So my sole focus is just getting this knee healthy and continuing this my good play this year. And I know I still have better play to come.
Jake, certainly your decision may not all be on your shoulders. The injury situation, teams may wonder about if you go into the market, but how much is your decision kind of related to some of the other guys who've been around a lot? What if Risto doesn't want to be here and gets traded, or Sam gets traded? I mean, how much could that impact your thinking?
Yeah, I think you got to look at the situation as a whole. Players definitely go into that equation. Coaches definitely go into that equation. Staff, you name it. There's a whole bunch of factors that go into each organization, how it's, what's being put into it. And there definitely has been some change here in Buffalo. However, I mean, obviously teams have the right to, be concerned about a knee injury, but I'm not. I personally, I mean, you look at, especially in hockey, it's been an interesting year. I know usually there's maybe one ACL throughout a season for hockey, but this year I know there was 3 of us in the matter of a month, which is pretty crazy. It's just an unusual injury for hockey, but with saying that, we're not a plant and pivot sport like a basketball, football, soccer. So moving forward, I'm not as concerned about it, and I don't think teams should be. But it's been great to see and talk. I haven't talked to, but I look at like a guy like Robbie Fabry. He had back-to-back ACLs, unfortunately. So obviously there is concern that you can re-injure, and but once again, he came back again this year, and I think he already, I don't know if he had, 10, 15 goals. So it's one of those things where I know that I'm going to come back stronger and better than ever, and just excited to, continue grinding away at my career.
Okay, last question from Lance.
Jake, when you mentioned just that trend, 3 guys with ACL injuries, I mean, how much do you think just not only that specific situation, but other injuries you've seen across the league maybe had something to do with just how truncated the schedule was? And your injury, as you said, came after that 2-week COVID pause where you had COVID.
Yeah, no, I'd say that's a great question, Lance. And I even asked my training staff, I said I'd be curious after this season to what was the total number of man games lost across the league, and the type of injuries that were occurring, because I definitely think there's something more to it because of the schedule. And I truly think that COVID played a role in my injury. I don't know. I mean, whether it was minor or not, I think when you look at the play, it's something I've done thousands and thousands of times, is rubbing a guy off in the corner. And whether I lost probably 5 to 7 pounds and during my COVID, and only skated twice, and then I was back playing. So all it takes is just for those small percentage points, 2-3% weaker, and then all of a sudden something like this can happen. So that frankly pissed me off. Just COVID sucks. Kind of still sucks, but it seems like we're hopefully getting back to some more normalcy. So it is interesting to see just the injuries overall throughout the league. I'd be curious to see the data as far as if there was more, but I definitely think that you're right. The schedule and COVID both probably played a role in it for sure.
Thank you, Jake.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good one.